Sei già partito? Ok, penso che siamo live. I think we're live. Hello everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Alessandro De Salve, and I am an AI coach from AI Academy. Thanks a lot for joining us in this webinar, or as you want to call it, in this maybe a demonstration of how AI can be put at work when we really want to embed generative AI in our workflows. I would like to thank Joele for directing all this event back in the director booth. And also, I would like to thank all the guys at AI Academy for giving me the chance to be with you tonight. You should see my a little bit of initial presentation. So I'm going to share a couple of notes about me just to start with, and then we can start right away. Most probably you will be able to comment and interact depending on the platform you are watching this. So feel free to share your comments, and Joelle back in the director's booth will be able to share your comments and share your questions, and feel free to ask whatever questions you may feel like asking. So to begin with, a little bit of notes about me, just a bit of introduction. Um, my name is Alessandro De Salve, and the first thing that I want you to know is that I'm 50 years old, and I'll be 51 on June 8th. So remember to connect with me on LinkedIn and wish me a good one. In a second, I will tell you why I know the fact that I'm 50 years old. I have quite an extensive background in IT sales, marketing, and IT talent acquisition. I'm passionate about AI way after ChatGPT, and way after ChatGPT means probably 2 or 3 months after ChatGPT was widespread in the whole world. And 2 or 3 months in generative AI means ages in comparison to any other technology, as you might know. And yes, I said 50 years old because AI is teaching me once again that you can reinvent yourself at all times. I actually was an AI Academy student back in late 2023, and now here I am. I changed my career path a little bit, more than a little bit, and I have the privilege to be in front of you and speaking about generative AI, and probably giving you a couple of hints of how to embed it and integrate it in your personal or professional workflows. What is this about? What are we going to see tonight? We're going to see an automation, an example of an automation on behalf of content creators around the globe. That's probably a little bit of an overstatement, but it doesn't hurt to be bold sometimes. Uh, Something that saves content creator from the frustration of strict, impossible deadlines. And if there is someone who is working about content creation, you know what I'm speaking about. By the way, I apologize if my English is not perfect. I am Italian. I apologize for that. I will make my best to make myself understandable during this live. This is an automation that provides multi-purpose content from a single voice node. So you're going to see something that you express a concept or you express a wish with your voice, and in a matter of minutes, you're going to receive in your email inbox available text, something that you can use to write a blog post, images, and believe it or not, even a mini podcast generated for you in a couple of minutes, just about the concept that you shared in your request. All these things was made with practical zero coding skills. I love technology, I love information technology, but probably I know a couple of instructions of code, and none of them will be useful to to make what I'm about to show you. And of course, the whole things you are seeing is highly achievable with the skills you can get at AI Academy. And it is worth noting. So really, what is this about? It is actually a sneak peek, a little glimpse of what could be the exclusive members content. We actually, what you're seeing today is actually a little, a little look about a similar session that we had a couple of nights ago, where we inside the member session, when we actually build a similar automation that can grant feedback on every job application always around the globe, because we have to think globally, right? So we build something similar, and this is an example of what you may access when joining our program. Of course, learning AI is no different than learning any other valuable skills, except from the fact that you have to access solid concepts in theory, but most of all, you have to build something with your hands, and being able to really be hands-on the technology, and how to integrate the whole things, which is something that really happens inside AI Academy. And that happens because there's a more than a high level of expertise, and beside the expertise, the capability to transfer the knowledge. And believe me, I was an ex-student, and it is uh, amazing in terms of concept and hands-on learning. But without further ado, let's see what we are seeing tonight. Who is this? Kind of a resemblance. This is my good looking and fit brother, which of course was generated with AI, of course. And so let's take a look. So I'm going to share something different in a couple of seconds. And what you're going to see is a simple web page. Actually, it's a simple form, a form made with a common form generator. In this case, we have Tally, but it could be Google Form, it could be Microsoft Forms, it could be whatever allows you to input some information and make them usable for further steps. It could be the contact form of your website, for what matters. What are we going to do? We are going to tell what our name is, and my name is Alessandro, so it was already filled in. I'm going to input an email where I want to receive all my content, so that the system know where to send it. I'm going to upload a simple voice note, which I recorded, I don't remember when, probably with my smartphone, or I shared with myself on WhatsApp, in a WhatsApp message, in a WhatsApp conversation, uploading an audio, just for the sake of demonstrating that AI can understand whatever kind of input, being a text, being a voice note, trying to look at an image and making a concept out of it. So I'm going to upload my voice note, which in this case was, you see, what's up? Okay, I'm going to upload this one. This is a simple voice note where I asked for a specific concept, and I wanted to create some kind of content about what are no-code automation tools and what impact they have on generating automations like this, and how they can be useful to integrate different applications into a simple and but also detailed workflow like the ones we are building. And surprise, I can obtain and I can get all my content, the text, the mini podcast, the images, of course, have no language, in one of these languages that you are seeing. I selected 8, but it could be one of the, I don't know, 130 languages that are spoken in our planet. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to select, let's say, Spanish, right? So we are going to see what happens in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to I'm going to put submit, and I receive a message where the automation says, okay, thank you for using content package generator. You should receive your package in a few minutes in your email inbox. If something odd happens, okay, just write me a note, but normally within 5 minutes, you're going to get everything that you're asked for. What is happening behind the scenes, right? Behind the scenes, there is, let's say, an environment, let's say an engine, let's say an application, call it however you want, which in this case is called Zapier, but it could be something similar like Make, or like whatever other application can allow you to put together different applications and let's say connect them together in a sequence that starting from my input in this form makes something happen. And what is this something? What is really happening behind the scenes? Let's go back to our presentation and let's go back to my good looking brother. What is happening behind the scene? Very simply, is a connection among all these fundamental steps. We know that we gather minimal information from our teleform, the one that we, yeah, we fill together. This information is streamlined to the engine behind ChatGPT, the actual model. So it's like using ChatGPT without using ChatGPT, right? So I'm going to connect with the large language model, GPT. In this case, I think it's GPT 4.0 for what matters about the model. And the model creates all the content suggestions that are useful to create the blog post about my concept. Um, it is useful to create the prompt for the images, and it is useful for create the script for what comes next, a mini podcast. Believe it or not, uh, the whole text of the mini podcast will be transferred to another application, which in this case is called 11 Labs. Probably some of you have heard about it, probably not. 11 Labs is a, simply put, is a text-to-speech AI engine, which allows you to reproduce a human speech out of a simple script and allowing me or any one of you to speak languages that are not actually spoken by me or you. I can speak a decent English. I can speak a less than decent Spanish or French, but that's it about my language knowledge. And so with this technology, I will be able to actually speak with my voice in languages that I don't know. Um, After this step, we will use what GPT created in the second step. So actually creating a prompt, an instruction to generate two images. And in this case, we are going to connect once again with DALL-E 3, which is the image generation platform out of OpenAI, but it could be whatever platform allows you to connect in this way. Unfortunately, you cannot use Midjourney for the ones who are into image generation because Midjourney does not allow you to connect in this way, but only forces you to use the web platform. So it's not going to be Midjourney for now, but we're going to use DALL-E 3, which is a decent image generation platform. And after the whole package is ready, I'm going to receive an email notification with all my content ready to be published, checked, put into my website, put into my blog, put into my podcast platform or whatever I feel it's useful and comfortable for me, right? Um, Again, if you have any questions or really something that you want to ask or interact with, feel free to do that, of course. And yeah, so let's wait for how we say for the cake to bake, as we say. And I'm going to see what happens in my yeah, it looks like it's ready. Okay, so this is my email, right? And okay, look what we have here. We have an email message where I receive my content. Okay, and let's see what has happened. So I received an email where I received an HTML file for my long blog post. I received two illustrations based on the post to better convey the concept, so two images, and I have the audio version of my post, and I can use it as a mini podcast. Uh, let's see what actually was uh, created, right? Um, so the first image, it was all generated. Remember, it was generated while we were talking, while we were speaking. The first images actually illustrates the concept of a no-code engine. So something that can connect different applications and being much more efficient and be much more productive. And we see our friend that is showing the automation to the colleagues, probably quite a pinpointed concept, I should say. I did not write a prompt, right? I did not write a prompt to create the images. I just uh, filled the form that you saw at the beginning. The second image, another concept with an enthusiastic team of people that actually is looking at this whole brilliant and glittering automation. I should say that it also nailed some text. You should note, we should note that image generation is now at a great level. Sometimes there is still a little bit of trouble when you have to generate text into an image, but for the sake of this automation, the gods of automation helped us, and actually no code automation was properly written. Um, what is next? Probably the two most interesting pieces of content: a blog post in the form of an HTML file, so actually ready to be copied and pasted, right, in my website, in my blog post, in my blog platform, whatever I should need something that is ready to be published. Please note that I selected Spanish as a language, and if I'm not mistaken, everything is written in what I believe is perfect Spanish, right? It is ready to be copied and pasted. But probably the most amazing thing is when we take a look at this file, which is an MP3. You're gonna be a little bit amazed probably in a couple of seconds. I hope that you can correctly listen, so listen up.
Hola, bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio donde hoy hablaremos de un tema que está revolucionando la forma en que trabajamos y construimos soluciones tecnológicas, las herramientas de automatización no-code. Puede que hayas escuchado este término antes o quizás sea la primera vez que te topas con él, pero lo que es seguro es que está cambiando la manera en que muchas empresas.
Okay, this is actually just let's see how much does it go. It's actually a 5 minutes audio explaining all the concept of no code automation. What is no code automation? What are the tools? What could be the use cases in Spanish, because it is the language that I selected, generated in the moments that we were speaking and in the moments where I was explaining this whole automation to you. Uh, Pretty amazing, I should say. I don't know what you think about it, but I think that it is pretty amazing. Of course, the whole package would be regenerated times and times again in the span of minutes, as you saw it, and in whatever language you might request. And also, if we speak a little bit about customizing, and also in terms of probably with a very customized voice, you have the capability to clone someone's voice, and so the voice that you heard could actually be you, right? So you have the capability to generate a podcast about your concept in your style with your voice in a couple of minutes just out of filling out a form. Pretty amazing, I believe. Okay, so we're going to see if there are any comments or questions or yeah, a little bit of interaction maybe while I'm switching to another couple of concepts, and probably showing you a little bit of an added surprise of what you can do in the integration of AI and the integration of this kind of content, because probably we should note that with AI and automation, and this is something that of course you will be able to build yourself in case of you will consider joining AI Academy. The result of an automation is always or can always be the beginning of another automation. If I just needed a text, I could stop just by creating an HTML blog post. That would be enough, and I would have had it in seconds. But if I need images, I can use the generated blog post to extract a concept that is transformed into an image prompt out of creating images. Again, I can somehow re-elaborate. Is this English? Probably. I hope so. I can, let's say, regenerate, right, my blog post in the style of the script of a podcast, and I inject it into a platform that allows me to create an audio, a very credible audio, and generate an episode, right, of a podcast. Uh, Probably that's not enough, and for just for the pleasure of showing you something even more incredible, let me show you something else, which is also embeddable in this kind of automation, right? This is not creating in the email, but this is something that I can show you out of this chain of automation, but it is actually absolutely doable. Just watch out for a second. I'm going to share a little bit of something with you. Just give me a couple of seconds. I'm going to open up what is actually, if you were amazed about what you saw, you will probably be amazed at what you're going about to hear and see. Out of the voice that was generated, um, I generated with the same audio. Probably this is a previous version with an English version. It doesn't matter. Okay, this is this is actually me a couple of weeks ago. I was a little bit less tired and my hair was a little shorter, but that is actually me explaining the concept of the created podcast with another voice, which is not my voice, but watch out.
Welcome to today's episode, where we're diving deep into the world of no-code automation tools. If you've ever wished you could streamline tedious tasks without writing a single line of code, you're in for a treat. No-code automation is revolutionizing the way businesses and individuals handle workflows, making efficiency accessible to everyone, regardless of their technical expertise.
Okay, what is so peculiar about this video? Uh, Probably, if you see this logo, probably you, um, yeah, stumbled into it already or into something similar. This is an AI avatar. This is actually a digital version of me, which was created out of a very simple 3 minutes training video to allow a model to capture my resemblance. This is me, undoubtedly, this is me, to capture not only my resemblance, but my gesture, right? My expression, the way I connect my facial expressions with the concept that I want to convey. And it's quite incredible because I never said those things. Uh, Apart the fact that this is not my voice, but I never said those things. This video was completely generated, right? So if you follow me so far, you know that out of a simple filling form with four basic information, your name, your email, a voice note or a written note for that matters, and the language that you want your content to be generated, in a matter of minutes, you could have a blog post, you could have images, you could have a mini podcast, but also a version of you which is ready to be published on your YouTube channel, explaining with your face and your gesture and your movement and your motion the concept that you have already created. I did not write a prompt for images, um, much less I recorded my voice in these couple of minutes, and much less, if you see, there's also different dress, much less I spoke about what is uh, um, no code automation, right? This was completely generated, right? So this is what you could be able to generate. Um, of course, this whole thing can be generated by going to ChatGPT and obtaining the test, by going into 11 Labs and creating the audio, by going into HeyGen and creating the video. But there's a much more interesting way of integrating all these applications together and bind them again in a no-code automation tool, and of course, knowing how to prompt the various pieces of AI, which is something that really you might be able to learn inside AI Academy. This is what we do. This is what we learn, and this is what we do. So I think it's pretty interesting, if not pretty amazing, right? Going back to my slides to go into the final part of this um, very brief, but I hope interesting um, webinar. So what is this about, and what are we gaining from that, right? So this is probably, of course, I'm always open to questions if they come or comments or interactions, right? So feel free to write a comment or write a question any second, right? No problem about that. So how about learning how to do this? Why not? It could be a good idea. Why could it be a good idea? It could be a good idea because, of course, there is much more of this inside AI Academy. You have the capability to access in-depth courses, tutorials, live webinars like this, but much more in-depth into the technology and into the how to build automations like this. And they could probably change the way you work, giving you time, saving you a lot of time, and really giving you efficiency, effectiveness, and room to make much more interesting thing with your human brain, which is probably something that would be useful to use for. Um, Inside AI Academy, there is a wonderful learning project which is called the Generative AI Project Bootcamp. So it's actually a continuous learning experience where you actually learn how to build prototypes like this, okay, real AI prototypes in yearly edition and multiple times during the year. So it is a yearly subscription, and you are naturally always updated with the latest technology. I think we have a questions. Which no-code platform were you using? Okay, which no-code platform were you using for the automation part? In this case, I used Zapier. Zapier is one of the most common and well-known platforms when it comes to um, you know, putting together all the applications and linking them together. Is not the only one. Probably the no-code engine market is equally split between Zapier and another platform who is named very properly Make, right? Um, Formerly, it was known as probably Integromat or something like that, but it is now known as Make, and it allows you. Thanks for the question. So I think we have a couple of minutes to spend about this, and then turn back to this. Um, this is what happens behind the scenes, right? So it was not scripted that I would have shown you, but why not? Okay, so you have actually all the sequence that allowed you to would allow you to create what you have seen in this automation. So starting from an initial task, an initial action, which is called the trigger, something that sparks the whole automation. You have all the steps, a little file conversion, right, to make sure that the audio is properly worked, a transcription using a specific engine from OpenAI, which is called Whisper, that can help you transcribe any audio into a written text. Uh, Three steps with GPT. The first one to give a very specific context, logical context on how to create the whole package. So it created a concept mind map. The generation of a long form blog post, which is probably the most easy step. the generation of a podcast script, so the long text that is given to the text-to-speech engine in a couple of steps below. The blog post becomes an HTML, so it is ready to be copied and pasted into the whatever is your CMS, whatever is your publishing platform. There is another step which is logical, which is extract the concept in order to create the image prompt. So it actually builds and formats a prompt which is very, very crafted properly in order to generate an image with DALI in this case, or with any other image generation platform. Two steps for generating the two images, uploading all the files to a Google Drive in order to have shareable files. We generate the lifelike voice message using the script that we have here. This is where it is transformed to a voice message, actually the podcast, which becomes an MP3. And all this stuff together is bundled and sent into an email message as attachment. So this can be achieved with Zapier or Make. It doesn't make any difference. It is just a matter of what you are more comfortable in using, and I have no interest in yeah, speaking about one or another platform. Zapier or Make or whatever platform allows you to do that is good to generate this whole automation. Coming back to our to my personal suggestion about why it could be a good idea to consider entering the our AI Academy and the learning path that can allow you to build things like that. Um, it is a learning experience which is aimed to not only learn how to do something, but actually being able, effectively able to build something. This is when you know that you are somehow mastering and somehow it is really in your knowledge domain. Okay, this is the moment when you are sure that you are capable of doing something, not just learning the concept, but actually practical skills that allows you to build things like that. This is something that is probably one of the most distinguishing factors here in AI Academy. Of course, with an expert guidance and with the help of coaches that were students not more than 6 months before, 12 months before. So it's a very interactive and valuable experience. And it, of course, this is a possibility. This is not a given, but this could have, especially in this particular time, this could be something that has an impact on your career, on your working life, on your life in general. This is something that can transform your career path, um, probably giving you the chance to be an expert in your domain and building solutions that are based in your knowledge but are applied through AI, learning how to do this. This is actually what happened to me. I started building these things not more than, I should say, 12 months ago, 15 months ago, and you should probably see a line in time where something happened and my career path just changed course. In my opinion, for the better, but we'll see. But believe me, these things happen. I'm the living demonstration that these things can happen, right? How about learning this? Much more information about my suggestions. If you, take out the smartphone out from your pocket and just, frame this QR code. Much more information with the link that you will be able to land. And probably I think that our director Joelle should send a practical link in your platform so that you can, yeah, so thanks for the confirmation, so that you will be able to follow the link and see what it is about. and have much more valuable information besides the confused explanation that I tried to give you, right? So we are 38 minutes in this webinar. If there are questions or comments, I'll be more than happy to answer, just like we did a couple of minutes before. I'm probably seeing a question, but probably it is just a comment. Right? So, for the ones who are possibly seeing this webinar in a recorded format, probably if you applied and if you subscribe to this webinar, you will be able to receive the recording of this webinar. So I'm saying hi to all the people that are seeing this webinar in a recorded format. Thank you very much for participating, for the people who took the time to participate live in this webinar. Thanks a lot to Joelle for the assistance and for directing supremely this webinar behind the scenes. And yeah, thank you for giving me. Feel free to connect with me. Feel free to know much more about AI Academy and our learning program. Believe me, it can be really impactful in your career. Thanks a lot for having me. Thanks a lot for being here with me. See you next time.